What's up, guys? Another live video. I'm posting this one in the 6-week challenge group because this video is specifically for my challengers. So Jess Brescher recommended a book for me, an audiobook, and I downloaded it and listened to it pretty much right away. And it is called Jess. Hi, Jess. This is about you. She recommended Confidence: How to Overcome Your Limiting Beliefs and Achieve Your Goals. So I listened to it. I've listened to it twice now, and I've taken some notes, and I wanted to share some of that with everybody because I think it's really relevant, and I think it kind of reinforces some of the stuff that I preach. And so here it goes. The book's first chapter, which I actually found to be the best, is about self-efficacy, and that's essentially your belief in your ability. So you can have self-esteem or self-confidence, which is just like belief in yourself, like blanket, like I love myself. And then you could have self-efficacy, which is a belief in my ability or my abilities. So for instance, I could have high self-efficacy in my ability to draw, aka Lloyd, and low self-efficacy in my ability to sing, aka I'm not going to name anybody that can't sing. My wife would sing me. I'm a solid 7. Anyway, so that's self-efficacy. So let's talk about people that tend to be very successful and have high self-efficacy. They have 5 traits. And the first is challenges are something they can overcome. They just see them as something they can overcome. In the book, The Obstacle is the Way, Ryan Holiday talks about how people who are successful, they see a brick wall as just something they need to remove. Whereas unsuccessful people see that brick wall and go, well, I need to stop. So people with a high self-efficacy, self-confidence that tend to be successful, tend to believe that challenges are something they can overcome, flat out. They just believe it, even when others say they can't or there's no evidence to think that they should. 2, they persevere through these difficulties. They don't mind chopping down the brick wall. Like they expect difficulties and they even enjoy the challenge. This intermittent fasting that the gym is doing, the people on the not doing the 6-week challenge, it's funny because you'll mention this to some people and some people will respond with, I could never fast. And it's like, of course not. With that attitude, like it's a joke, but you can't. And other people are like, I think I could do that. And they gave it no thought as to why they could. They just believed they could. Like, sure, why not? Right? Like people with high self-efficacy. 3, they take responsibility for their outcome, as in it wasn't luck, it wasn't the weather, it wasn't a coincidence, it wasn't the coach, it wasn't the gym. All those things might have helped, but it was me. It was me, oh Lord, it was me. I'm the one responsible for my success. So they take responsibility for their outcome. And if they fail, they take responsibility for their failures. I hope that makes sense. 4, they put in more effort. And I think that this ties into the other ones, which is because they take responsibility, because they're going to persevere through difficulties because they don't mind, and because they see challenges as something they can overcome, they put in all their effort because they don't fear failing. If I fail, will I be a failure? Some people believe that failing labels them as failures, whereas others are just like, failed again, time to learn and move on. And last, because they don't fear failure, because they take responsibility for their outcome, because they persevere through difficulties, because they see challenges as something they can overcome, they go full, whole ham, full hog. They go all in, full commitment. Like they're all in. What do? They study. They download a podcast. They download a clinical study. They talk to their doctor. I'm getting blood panels done for the intermittent fasting. They buy the cool neon headband for CrossFit, or the CrossFit shoes, or they buy supplements, or they buy protein powder. They go all in. And when you go all in and you put more effort and take responsibility and you persevere through difficulties and you see challenges as something you can overcome, statistically speaking, you will be more successful. Now, if you are successful in small things, the small things they build and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And so success just becomes something that you expect because you see it a lot. And the failures begin to minimize. So it's a snowball rolling downhill. And let's look at the opposite. So the opposite is what? They avoid challenges, mostly because if they fail, they believe, ipso facto, I'm a failure. So they're afraid of challenges because they don't want the label. Because they're afraid of challenges, they see these challenges, too, as difficult goals that are beyond their capabilities. I can't do that. I can't do that because they've never challenged themselves. If they've never challenged themselves, they've never grown. If they've never grown, they've never built new skills, new abilities, or new beliefs in themselves. And so because they haven't done this, like a snowball in reverse, like the worst, like a bad snowball, they believe that they're just not able to do it. And because they don't believe they can do it, and because they don't have the experience of a lot of challenges, they quickly give up. It's like being on a mountain with like 3 feet of snow, and the snow is like up to their hips. They're trying to climb to the summit. And as soon as they step out of the warm cabin, the snow just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And they pause and they look at the cabin and they're like, wow, that cabin's got a fireplace and hot chocolate. And they look up and they can't see the top of the mountain because of like fog and snow. And they're like, I don't know how far away it is. I'll just give up, because they've never actually gotten to the summit. And if they've never gotten to the summit, they don't believe they can, because they don't believe they have the abilities. And so it just builds and builds and builds. So they give up easy. Now, 4, they focus on the surface. They don't buy the neon headband. They don't buy the CrossFit shirt. They don't buy the CrossFit shoes. They don't buy the supplements. They don't buy the protein. They don't buy the heart monitor. They're just like, I don't need all that extra stuff. They focus on the surface. 3 days a week, cut calories. But that plan works until the first time you hit that brick wall. And the successful people hit that brick wall and they just mow through it. And the unsuccessful people, because they have that low self-efficacy, because they don't experience the challenges, because they don't learn from failure, because they don't believe in themselves, they hit that wall and they quit. And so they blame, number 5, they blame the external factors. The diet was too hard. My schedule was too much. I'm not tall enough. I'm not fit enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not this. And they blame everything else, and they don't take accountability for their own actions or their own ability to grow. Because what? Because they didn't go all in. They didn't put in all their effort. They didn't buy the neon headband for CrossFit, right? Why didn't they do that? Because they don't have the confidence to keep going. Why don't they have the confidence? Because they often believe they don't possess the requisite skills. Why don't they have the requisite skills? Because they avoid challenges, so they never gain them to begin with. What's the advice? The advice is to ask yourself, do your thoughts serve your purpose? I posted a video about this a couple weeks ago. Do your thoughts serve your purpose? Are you saying things that will help you achieve your goal? So like when you wake up, are you going, damn it, when do I get to eat? That doesn't help you. It doesn't help. I understand, but it doesn't help you. Are you saying like, I can't wait to get to 2 o'clock. That's when I get my first meal. Or are you just like putting that out of your mind and drinking your water and like going on with your day? When you start your 6-week challenge and week 3 and your body fat stalls, are you automatically going, there's no way I'm going to hit my goal, right? Like, give up there. I'll just go for the workouts. Or do you like schedule a meeting with me or one of the other coaches and go, what can I do to get to my goal? Now, let's say you don't get to your goal, but you get halfway there. Do you consider that a loss, or do you consider that a success? If you consider it a success and you've learned from it, it will help you move on to the next success. And that all comes down to mindset. And man, I can't wait to do this drill, this demo that Dr. Glenn showed me the other day. I already did it in this law enforcement class that I just had now. It was awesome. Can't wait to share it with you guys. But do your thoughts serve your purpose? I think this all boils down to what's going on in here. So that's what I got for you challengers. Those of you guys that started last week or the week before, you're only 2 weeks into this. Stick with the Wodify Rise app. Keep taking those pictures. Keep following the meal plan. And when it gets hard, buckle up and get to work. It'll pay off. Small successes will lead to bigger successes. So that's what I got for you guys. Love you all. And I will be back on Monday. Looking forward to seeing you guys all in class.